Hello. So today we're getting into some different business compared to last streams. Last stream we played some good games. This game, however, is a problem. Hi Fester, nice party hat. So there's your whole intro. Hello. So this is how this game starts. Grind. Hello. Thank you for the host. I am engaging in a problem. I've just barely started, but perhaps not the most beloved game in everybody's Nope, don't hit those. Those enemies are not enemies you want to attack. I'm gonna go back up here and I'm gonna fight some more of these weird bulb things. That's fair. Yeah, this game is not only the same people that made Blaster Master and a little bit later, but I feel like, for a few reasons, this game was kind of like... See, I have this theory about what Sunsoft did in a general sense, and that is they made games, and then they tried to get licenses for those games, and if they didn't get the license for those games, they would just ship it anyway, just without the license IP applied. And that's the difference between this and, like, what a second Blaster Master from Sunsoft might have been, as opposed to, you know, Blaster Master 2, which we don't talk about. The first thing I'm doing before I even set foot in the first sewer, I'm getting my weapon to max. Because you kinda need to. You don't need to, but it makes your life so much easier to have your gun up before you actually start playing this game. And these enemies don't fight back, so... what better time, right? I feel like they were working on, like, a second Blaster Master. They got an Addams Family license, and they're like, you know what? Let's just take this basically as it is, make it a little more functional, apply the paint job to make it Addams Family, and ship it. That's my theory. It's not going to be too much more just walking up and shooting. I only need to get one more gun upgrade, and then I'll be good to go. Having some more of the other consumables on hand isn't bad either. So I know more about the workings of this game than most people should, because I actually did some work on helping figure things out for a reroute of the speedrun a few years ago. So I know things like exactly how enemies spawn, why they spawn, and where they spawn, which is they will always spawn directly in front of Fester just off screen, and what spawns depends entirely on what region of the game map you are in at the time you scroll that onto the screen. Additionally, if you are too close to a wall, going up and down or left and right, then enemies will not spawn because the square they are supposed to spawn in is a wall, so nothing spawns. Alright, give me the last gun already. No, not a gun down. Honestly, this should be plenty, but I want to make sure I'm fully prepared before I take even one step into the first sewer. There we are. I'm gonna go without resorting to a turbo button as long as possible, but after a certain point my thumb might just give up and say, hey, you should start using a turbo button because I'm not up to this anymore. And you know what? Using a turbo button in this game is okay, because the manual says it is. So you need keys to enter any houses, ever. And houses have an Addams Family member in them or a maze. And Addams Family members give you different cool stuff. So TNT is pretty self-explanatory, but the vice grips, certain enemies, when they hit you, they will slow you, and vice grips cures that slow. Oops. You have to be off the stairs before you use the use button, or else it'll just take you on the stairs again. Soon we're going to be encountering the enemy that tends to end most people's playthroughs, and that is Sewer Slime. Because they spawn another slime in response to taking damage. It's not guaranteed, though. It's just a really good chance that they will do it. So the stronger the weapon you have, the more likely you're going to be able to get rid of them before they just spawn forever. Drat. Hello, Violet. I don't remember if I'm supposed to go in this more rightward passage or over to the left. You're very lucky, because this game is not fantastic. So yeah, because I'm walking along this upper wall here, nothing can spawn in front of me. So it's completely safe. Well, I'm gonna hope to be able to finish the game, so I'll give Kid U some vengeance. There's a hack somewhere that causes your shots to pierce walls, because one of the biggest problems with most of the weapons in this game is that if you're too close to a wall, your shots won't go anywhere. It's a much bigger problem with some of the earlier guns, because they have a really wide arc, and if that projectile touches any wall at any point, it just stops dead forever. That, and the fact that everything is so slow, and the fact that you only start with 2 health, are like the big 3 things that killed this game for a lot of people. Do not shoot at me. Do not. Please stop being a frog. Okay, so I think we're coming up on the first maze section. Fairly soon. Maybe not this house, but it's in this segment. Okay, potions. Potions are extremely important. These things are some of the biggest jerks in the game, because as long as you're firing, they're gonna keep jumping. And as long as they're jumping, they can't be hit. Except for the very brief period where they land between jumps. So the more vivid red frogs are the ones you want to see the least. There are ones that are like kinda more brown. Those ones are okay, like those, but not that one. That one is not okay. Has a ton of health, and it does fire shots, which those fire shots are not only extremely hard to avoid, they also make you slow, which is like half the speed I'm going right now. And it doesn't expire unless you have Vice Grips to ever. Okay, so here's the first maze. It gets a little bit screen flashy, because every time you take a step, it blanks out the screen and redraws the new screen, so fair warning on that. So this is a dead end, right? No, that's your health upgrade. It's actually an invisible wall right there. And if you walk into that invisible wall, you get a health upgrade. And that's it for the first maze. This game has some issues, okay? Come on, don't get stuck on the corner. Alright, what do we have in here? Invisible potion. Also a very good item. Invisible potions are just temporary invisibility. It doesn't stop enemies from approaching you, it just means they can't hurt you. Alright, second sewer. Big open room up here, mostly frogs spawn up here. So I'm just gonna run up past all of them and not care because they can only attack downward. This sewer is somewhat uneventful, but it also premieres the worst enemy in the game, I think. I think this one has some worst enemy in the game. They are these weird, like, mouth things that crawl through the wall. And that's really bad, because they can go through the wall and your shots can't. So it's actually really hard to get a decent aim on them. They also can go diagonally, which Fester can't go diagonally. So you may recognize a small problem with this situation. I need that key. Darn it. I didn't want to get the gun down, but I can just get another up. Oh no, those are bad frogs. Those are bad frogs. That's a snail. I can't shoot the snail. Help. The snail turns into a slime. Help, I am confused and bewildered in playing Fester's Quest. No part of this is okay. I'm just gonna take a hit here, and I'm just gonna go. Probably for the best. I think up here we're going to be coming to the first boss maze. It's another maze, and at the back of it is a boss fight. Makes sense, right? Okay, are you ready? I'll be ready as soon as I hit the save state button. Because I have no shame. Because I'm playing Fester's Quest. That was the entrance. Whoops. My bad. False alarm. Again, I apologize for the flashing, but that's just how this works. This one should not be the entrance. Let's save state again, because I still have no shame. Okay, there's the friend. This boss has a little bit of a problem in that the distance between his hands is wider than Fester. However, I have a problem in that he can go further to the side than I can. Forgive my silence, I am mashing my brains out and probably going to give up on that fairly soon. Heck. Okay. First boss down. Our main reward for beating the boss is our consumables. The Vice Grips, potions, invisible potions, and TNT are all refilled. And there's also the clue thing up in the corner, which is just a picture that fills in. It's a spaceship. There's no mystery here. And now I really need to get my gun back up. No, not down. Up, please. So the red named power-ups are lower it, and the blue ones increase it. You have gun and whip, but I don't have the whip yet. The gun goes up to 8 levels, and the whip only goes to 4. Oh crap, here's the problem monster. Let's try really hard to not spawn a lot of those, because they're not fun. Anyway, we now have the good gun again. So, good thing, this game has infinite continues. Bad thing, if you die, you go back to the very start of the game. You still have all the stuff you got, but you're back at the start of the game. You know what? It's turbo time. I am done mashing. I got beyond the first boss without mashing. That's more than plenty for me. Oh good. I have found myself an infinite spawn of those. Okay. I've moved far enough ahead that they are no longer spawned. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's every other frame, so 30 hertz, yeah. No, back off. I know backing off is a thing you do when you get shot, so please get shot. That sounds mean, but I mean it. Oh good, it's a red frog. Fortunately, when you're mashing, you can finish off red frogs without much of a worry, or when you're turboing, not mashing. I don't remember if down is the way I'm supposed to be going at this point, because all of the overworld is exactly the same to me. Oh, jeez. That was large. Stop. And I didn't need to go this way. Congratulations, me. I'm gonna hug the wall so things don't spawn, because, yeah, okay. Never mind, things spawn. Don't shoot me. Thank you. Oh no. Don't. Oh, I got a gun down. Not the worst thing to go from 8 to 7, but it's also not good. No, you don't. No. Stop. Thank you. I absolutely don't want to go from 7 to 6, because 6 is a lot worse than 7. So the way it works is there are 4 kinds of projectile, and a lesser and greater shot with that projectile. The shot for levels 1 and 2... Can't stop these. Help? The shot for 1 and 2 does 1 damage. The shot for 3 and 4 does 2 damage. 5 and 6 does 3 damage, and 7 and 8 does 4 damage. Yeah, the red gun reduces your gun level, and the blue gun increases it. Same with the whip, but I don't have that yet. Why do they have enemies drop power downs? I don't know. Fester's Quest. Oh, good. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this is real nice. Oh, thanks for dropping a gun down. I'm just gonna wait for that to despawn. Thanks for another gun down. Yeah, Blaster Master does have some, like, weird things with the patterns in its level designs in a couple places, but it's nowhere near this. It is a lot more fluent and enjoyable. Okay, I seem to recall this being a pretty important house. This might be the whip? Maybe not. Oh, it is the whip. Nice. So the whip upgrades I've been picking up weren't sticking because I didn't have it yet. Not surprising, I don't think. Given Fester's Quest. So the whip is nice. It's mostly nice once you power it up, but it's pretty strong. It's gonna be my boss killer from now on. And I'm on the hunt for more upgrades so I can get my whip up. Very short sewer here. Also, if you go into a sewer and don't happen to have a light bulb, you just have to do it in the dark. Which means I don't think you can see any enemies. You can see very little in the way of passages. So if that happens, you just need to go out and farm. Alright, I think we're at the second boss maze now. Yes, pretty much. This is the point where my memory of where things are and how to get around places gets a little fuzzy, so might be lost in this one for a little bit. And of course, back to flashing warning, because they had a good idea. Okay, I think this is it. Coco Gadget, save state. Alright, so this boss is a lot harder to safely juggle around with, because I don't 100% remember its pattern, but he'll either whip with one hand or the other hand, and you can't just stand in between. You have to continually move away from the side he starts winding up a swing with. ultimately not super complicated, but if you're not doing it right, you're gonna get ripped apart. Yeah, like, once you get past the worst of this game, like the things that just don't really work right, it's not too bad. You still need to have turbo, though. You will die if you don't turbo. Not like die in the game, you will die in real life. You will no longer have a hand. I'm gonna see if I can find a slime and farm it for some whip ups. I'm gonna need that fairly soon. I know I had a slime spawn in this stretch. You can't tell me it didn't. Now the other thing with mashing is you kind of can't farm slimes very well if you're turboing, because what happens is when you hit it and a new one comes out, there's like a few frames where another one can't spawn, and turbo shots just come so frequently that darn it. I'm just gonna let you fill in that sentence on your own while I wallow in woe at having downgraded my gun again. I want that. Having a stronger whip is good. So the whip never really gets bigger, it just gets stronger with every level. Which is probably why it only goes to 4, because I couldn't think of 8 ways to iterate it other than just increasing the damage. Which is fine. Got no problem with that. You must be gentle with the slime so you don't break all of it. So you can continue getting drops. You know, so you can get all of the gun downs. Hey, I want that whip up. So I'm gonna go as soon as I get a gun up, but I don't know how long that's gonna be. I know fairly well how the drop table works. You get drops in a specific sequence based on what the total level of your gun and whip are, and they just go in a cycle, and there are generally more downs and less ups the higher you go. You know what, just give me that. Okay. Didn't even get punished for it. And anytime you pick up a whip or gun up or down, you go back to the start of the drop cycle, no matter where you were in it. So if you already have something full and pick up another one of those, you're just starting the drop cycle over for no good. Yeah, I just need to get my gun back up and I'll be good to go. And the later ones that have very few ups and a lot of downs tend to have their ups at the very end of the cycle. So if you're picking up needless whip or gun ups while you need the other upgraded, you're just going to be spending more time getting back to the part of the drop cycle you need to be in. Alright, I'm not getting another slime, so let's move on for now. Hope I don't get punished with a tight hallway like that one. That's where I was earlier? No. Okay, I have missiles now. Don't worry about it. I regret not having the level 8 gun, because it means I can't shoot into this passage. I'm going back. Think. Yeah, you might never see a level 8 gun if you always just pick up whatever drops. I basically have to get gun 8 to continue right here, because I'm not getting past this frog without either taking damage or having a more narrow shot. And 8 just happens to be a bit more narrow. See, this is the whip up that if I kept picking it up, it would bar me from getting to gun 8. And that's the one I need to not pick up. And there's a gun down, of course. Gonna wait for that one to despawn. Right. That's the kind of head you don't want to shoot. They shoot those little flies out, and those little flies, they only go in a fixed, albeit erratic pattern, so it's not too bad. But if they hit you, they'll slow you. And if you don't happen to have vice grips to cure the slow, you will be slow forever unless you die. I am dedicated to getting this gun 8 now. Yeah, honestly, this game isn't too hard to complete if you get all of the consumable types and get the third health and have time to learn the boss patterns. Okay, there we go. Finally iterated the drop table enough to get gun 8. Now we can continue the game! But yeah, this is a lot of the game, just walking around overworld and sewer maps, getting to the next place, over and over. Alright, so this might be another boss maze. Looks like it. I don't know if I just made it back to the one I came out of, but let's see here. Nope, boss time. So this one's a huge jerk because he has a shield. And because he has a shield, it's really hard to actually get any damage in on him. We're gonna pull out the whip here. Yeah, you can't just get away with hitting him. You have to hit a very specific little orb that's hovering under his shield, so the whip isn't actually gonna hit him. I'm abusing Invisible Potion. Never mind the hitting shield sound. We're just going to be trading hits for a while as long as my Invisible Potions hold out. Okay. One more potion. Then I'll have to come up with a fancy solution. I think that solution is going to be continue tanking the hits, but with normal potions instead of the invisible ones. And I just didn't heal when I needed to heal. Okay, we're starting over. The intended pattern is if you move to the right before he swings, it won't hit you. Crap. Okay. One more potion, then I'm gonna need to find something fancier to do. Yeah, at the start you only have two. You have to find an invisible wall in a maze and press up into that, what looks like a dead end to find the third health. I'm gonna need another strategy. Yeah, I have missiles. Got a problem with missiles? Why am I not hitting you? There we go. I can't guarantee I've ever actually landed a missile. Alright, we're gonna try another strategy again. Heck. So the boss flashes when that happens. I don't know if that means that I'm doing damage, but I feel like that means I should be doing damage. Heck. Stop slashing my dynamite. I want to say this is working, ever so slowly but surely. like boring, but if it's doing damage to the boss, that's better than anything, because it's not hurting me to do. How many more of these do I have? Only 4. Hey, it was working. Imagine that. It only took like my entire stock of dynamite. Which is now back, because I beat a boss. Squish Poto is important. And also very mood. Okay, so we have one more boss to fight and then the final area. We have basically everything except the nooses. And the nooses are pretty important. Yeah, the only reason that was working is because the dynamite continues whether or not it hits something that would destroy a bullet. So it's hitting the shield and the vulnerable point underneath. The only reason I knew it was working is because I could see that the boss was flashing orange, whereas if I was hitting the shield and it wasn't doing anything, that wouldn't be happening. Oh, come on. Thanks for the infinite wall, friends. Get them off of me. And that is why I don't like the wall crawlers, because they get a whole lot of diagonal advantage on you that you can't reciprocate. Oh, thanks. Happening again. Come on, don't get caught on the wall. I'm getting festered. I think this is just the next boss maze. It's either a boss maze or it's a maze that outputs at more overworld, but I think it's the boss maze. I'm gonna not leave yet because I have no idea where or why it is, but I remember hearing there is a fabled fourth health you can get in another maze. That's where I came in. And this is the exit, so it's probably going to be another boss already. Yeah. Okay. This jerk has a shield and a gun. There's nothing in the mazes. You just get lost for a while. The only threat in the maze is you don't know which... Like, the entrance and exit door look the same, and all of the passages look the same. That's the danger. Trying to remember what the heck I even do with this boss. I'm gonna try whip strats. Okay. this is working. Sometimes. And the whip does a lot of damage, so it's okay. I want to say it's like 32 at max. Whereas the shots at max are 4. Yeah, no problem. Thanks, I hate it. Also, those wall crawlers, every time they enter and exit a wall, they actually gain ground against you. They are just extremely unfair in every way possible, considering the confines of the engine of this game. We may be on the way to the end now. Either that, or I've forgotten how many normal bosses there are before the final level. The reason I say that is because there is more unfilled-in clue space. Okay, I think this is the Noose house. Very important. Yes. Excellent. So, Nooses summon Lurch to just completely screen wipe everything. I don't think it does damage to bosses, but it will completely wipe any screen. What are you doing not in the sewer? Get out of here. Don't worry about it, it's fine. Haven't you ever gotten nooses from your parental figure? Well, normally you don't need more than one, right? That's a weird thing to say, but we're in Adam's family territory, it's okay. Yeah, I don't think we're in the final stretch. We're gonna have another boss before the final area. Got to Bulb. Wasn't even thinking about it. It's like, theoretically, you can navigate sewer without a bulb just fine, but why would you? Because it obscures just enough to be really really easy to get caught by stuff. I actually know a lot about the way enemy spawning works. The way it works is they will only ever spawn directly in front of Fester, all the way out past where you can see on the screen. If something spawns to the side of you, it's because you turned to face that side. And generally speaking, you can move along walls to prevent anything from ever spawning, because the tile it's going to try to spawn things in is fully occupied. I think that's where I came in. I'm probably wrong, but I think that's where I came in. To be honest, I have no idea where anything is anymore. Well, I'm just gonna try this door. That was where I came in. Okay, if it's at the end of a hallway, it's the entrance. I saw the exit once, and it was just past a corner, not at the end of a hallway. I'm slightly lost, in case it wasn't apparent. This is one where there's just like... I know the basic layout of this one. It's basically just a big circle with a bunch of side paths. But I have vivid memories of every time I come in here, I fall for the trick of just ending up in the circle every single time. Okay, here we are. I found it. Alright. Fifth boss, then we're going to be on the stretch leading to the final area. Pull out the invisibles. Let's get over to the whip. This is kind of a damage race, because I don't know if I'll be able to last long enough to use all of my potions. Okay, we're good. Alright, so the reality of the clue thing is it's trying to show you around where on the spaceship the final boss is, or... No, that's right. It's not where the final boss is, but where a generator you have to destroy before you can fight the final boss is. But this is completely the wrong perspective relative to what being in the final level actually looks like for this to be of any help whatsoever. So even though it's trying, this is useless. Get out. Giant, overly detailed spider is not my friend. So, you see the perspective of it, right? You're looking at it from the side, and it's telling you where the generator you need to destroy is. But the actual ship is overhead, so you can't actually use that to have any idea where you or it is in relativity to anything. So this is the final area. You walk into a grave, and then you're in the spaceship. So these enemies, if you just run straight at them, they can't hurt you, because they're always in the air by the time you reach them. That is, if you're not firing when you approach them. And these are definitely not a resprite of the slime. So there are some enemies in this stretch, as I recall, that run around really frantically and do bad stuff. Yeah. Multi-directional bubbles of not what I want in my life. And they don't appear to take damage, but they actually do, because every time their eye closes and opens again, they took damage. There's an enemy in here. That thing. That thing is not anybody's friend. Please die, thank you. Yeah, I apologize for any overabundance of me shooting the wall sound, but I'm not going to let go of this fire button ever. You jerk. It's honestly safest if you just run by those and don't shoot, because if you shoot them, they start moving much more frantically, but if you don't shoot them, their cycle is just right that you'll never actually get hit. You just run right by them and it's fine. Please get shot, thank you. So one thing that Sunsoft games always love to do, they love to, right at the very end, replay the music of the first area of the game. Except in this game, the music of the first area of the game takes place in, like, the entire overworld, which is most of the game. So what they did instead is they just inverted the music. So the overworld of the ship has the boss music, and predictably the boss will have the overworld music, so that you have the proper Sunsoft inversion. I just downgraded my whip. I wasn't thinking or paying attention. And now I'm shooting at these even though it's a bad idea, and that one's gonna get me because it's perfectly oscillating against my extreme array of shots to never be vulnerable. Get hit. Get hit. Please get hit. I'm gonna noose you because you're not getting hit. This is what happens when you use the noose. Nope. No. Yeah, they're really good, and they're also best not hit, so they are a friend. Ow. What? That was mean. I don't need that going up in the final approach. Why did I shoot? So we're coming up on the point where you need to go down to where the generator is instead of going to where the boss is. Basically, instead of going to the left, I'm gonna go down and to the right. Oh crap, I shot one. I'm noosing. Here's the generator. I don't remember what you do with it. Do I just shoot it a bunch? Doesn't seem to be taking any damage. Maybe you go past it? Don't remember. No. I'm sure you do something here. Maybe you don't do anything to this. I know that this is the generator and it's also the thing that the clue is pointing you to. Maybe it was... Maybe it's a red herring and I forgot that. Get out of here, Fire Frog. There's a fire frog above me. I am concerned. Okay, so we are almost there. So if I die here, it still takes you back to the very first point of the game. Oh hi, it's a Blaster Master boss, but small and not as mobile. Nope, you need to not to. Press. It was a dead end. Where go then? I was pretty sure that was where go. I may need to go all the way back to the big open room, so that might have been a wrong way there. Nope, 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 nope. Oh. Walks right into you. Like, imagine if you weren't using turbo against that thing. Like, using turbo, it still got me. Okay, this must be probably the way. I just accidentally used a whole bunch of something. I accidentally just burned all of my potions. I was pressing the wrong button because I was going away from turboing. It's fine. This is fine. Okay, there's the whip up. Level 1 gun, no turbo challenge. Level 1 gun, 2 health, no consumables, no bulbs. Okay, we are now there. Taking a save state. Don't even try to blame me for that. Okay, strategy. So this boss is like a big, round, mechanical core thing that just kind of shoots a whole bunch of stuff all over the place. So I'm gonna whip. The walk back is the entire game, if I die. So, there are two little things up right in front of it. Those are the vulnerable point at the start. I remember now you have to gun those, but I'm also going to missile up after invisible potioning. Oh. New strategy. Drop TNT in its face. I died. I think there are two, but I don't know where the other one is. Okay, one thing down, two things down. Now I can hit the actual thing. I just have these wiggly things that are gonna destroy me in a second. I lost. Okay. If I die again, I'm going to show you what happens when you die. Oh, I thought I had a safe spot there. I forgot to show you the thing, too. Money is for hot dog stands. Not kidding. The only point you can heal in the game is at hot dog stands. And I wasted both of my free hits. Well, I'm just gonna sit here and fire, and if I win, I win, and if I don't, I'm done for anyway. Continue. I'm at the start of the game. And my items are in the same condition they were at the time, so excluding the fact that I'm going to need more by the time I get back there, there are no more bosses to fight, so they're not going to be refilled. And that's why we're not doing that. So... So, I'm gonna give this one more try. I'm gonna hope I get all of my invisible potions in properly. And win, lose, or draw, this is gonna be the last try. And this is it, basically. Wait, did I nail the safe spot? I nailed the safe spot. Okay. And now everybody loves Fester, I guess. I would just like to remind everyone that this game has no credits. That's the most you get. The plot? Okay, I'll show you what happens at the title screen. So, Fester is lounging in the backyard at night. An alien ship appears. He has a party hat for some reason and a juice box. He is shocked. Title screen. Alright, I'm gonna edit my information for the next game. While we let this excellent title continue that is totally important.